Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crafts with a Crazy Lady. Today, we're going to be continuing Swooning over stamps, and honestly, I haven't really had, the best past couple of days, so leave a nice comment, I guess. It's really up to you, but here we go. There we go. Alright. Alright. Break the silence, ask about other creatures in the Gravity Falls, ask about the Mystery Shack, ask about staying, wait for him. As you guys can still see, I'm still sick, but I'll be fine. Why don't we go... Last time, we finished up with Mothman, and, that was fun. But look at him! Look! Oh my gosh. Hang on. Look at him, guys. He is standing there in all of his nerd glory. I love it. I freaking love him. He is one of my favorite characters in this whole series. Let's see. What about Mystery Shack? The Mystery Shack. Ah, yes. The Mystery Shack used to be my home once upon a time, but now it's, a tourist trap. I'm glad for what it's become as a home. I just wish you weren't so offending to each of the senses. Alright, ask about gravity other creatures. You said to wait, but can I at least get a preview of what I'm getting into? Not content to leave them to discover yourself, Well, has anyone told you about the Gobblewonker? You snort, taken aback by the name. But compose yourself when Ford simply raises an eyebrow. I don't think so. No. Not even in the tourist guide? Tourist guide? Does the office even read my letters? Ford mutters to himself about updating the tourist guide to warn against the local dangers. He sighs in frustration, and that's reserved for bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. But soon lightens up at the prospect of getting to introduce you to yet another strange creature. Oh, jeez. Well, the Gobblewonker is a large sea creature that lives in this very lake. One could say it's our version of the Loch Ness Monster. Yes. My old research assistant apparently saw it at some point. He said it was large, gray, scaly, with a long neck like a giraffe. You wouldn't have had any odd sightings, have you? It's only been 24 hours, but my own first encounter with the strange occurred shortly after my arrival as well. Maybe? So, I think I'm gonna go with maybe. I saw Mabel stick kitten-shaped stickers all over her face today. That must count for something, right? Ford laughs. I wish I could hear his laugh again. Oh my gosh, guys. I'll be sure to write that anomaly down once we get back to the shack. Ask about staying or break the silence. Or wait for him. Let's ask about staying. Are you really okay with me staying here? Absolutely. I owe it to you after all. You helping me today was not part of the plan. You're making it rather hard to settle my debt. I think you did me a favor by just letting me come along today. The two of you share a smile. Oh, look at him! Look at him! Ford looks out across the lake in thought. Rebecca, I have to admit, I didn't want to take you with me earlier today. I thought I'd be walking myself into an uncomfortable social situation. So did you, to be honest. And well, you did well out there. Not many tourists could handle the kind of task we just completed. This had the potential to have gone disastrously wrong. I mean, a butterfly net against Mothman? Easily a 3% success rate. Sometimes, the more Ford speaks, the less reassured you feel until that's all that left is a distant unease. You smile and nod anyway. The two of you sit in another moment of silent or quiet, night air pleasantly chill around you until Ford breaks it again. We should head back now. I'm sure Mabel will want to hear we've been successful. You stand and give Ford a hand up from the makeshift bench. Ford takes the lead again, and soon you're no longer able to catch the sight of the lake again when you glance back. Ford adjusts his pace to yours, walking side by side in companionable silence, all the way back to the shack. Almost there. You recognize the incredibly flashy lights touting phrases like, "Mystery Shack this way!" and "Sasquatch to your left!" That you are extremely close to arriving back at the shack. As you and Ford leave the tree line, you see the bright light shining on the porch. You make out a faint outline of the kids' shadows as they run through the house and emerge in the attic window. And Mabel pushes it open, leaning out. "Uncle Ford! Finally! You guys took so long! I had a couple waddles and macaroni." "Why would you do that?" "I have my reasons. Did you get the thing?" "Yes, and I'm coming inside so we can stop shouting." "Rebecca, come along. We've got a pig to save." Ford strides into the shack, a man on a mission. You grin and follow, but not before taking one last look at the night sky. Maybe your stay won't be too bad after all. Back inside the shack, the grand conclusion of your expedition to the Mothman's cave is spritzing Mabel's pig with the newly finished deterrent until the poor piglet reeks of lavender. You see Mabel and the Dipper head up to bed, looking sleepier than usual as a result. Something about lavender is so soothing to the senses that you crash fairly soon afterwards, face first on your makeshift bed. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, look at that! Guys, love meter, what? Yep, I'm definitely on the, board path. Call the caterers, I hear wedding bells. Huh, looks like this is actually working out. Oh my god, Mabel! What the actual heck, girl? I mean, we just had a freaking day, that is all, you know? Here we go. Next. You wake up to a loud crash downstairs. Not entirely uncommon in this house, but you're quickly finding out, but it's still disconcerting. More clatters and thumps lead you to the kitchen, and Mabel teeters on a short step ladder in front of the pantry, standing on her tiptoes, as she reaches high as she can for a small yellow box on top of the cake on the top shelf. Pancake mix. Without a word, you go to her side and pluck the box from the shelf for her, placing it into her outstretched hand. Oh, Rebecca, thank you! Uncle Stan put it on the top shelf for some reason. I don't know, but I need some Mabel cakes. It's a breakfast emergency! She waggles her free fingers in your face, and you can't help but laugh. You can tell that the house becomes more alive when this kid's around. You want to help me make them? We only need chocolate milk, coffee, pink food coloring, and a pot of Goldos. To make this breakfast dream a breakfast reality. I love Mabel. So, my husband says that Dipper is more like Stan and Mabel is more like Ford. What do you guys? Leave your thoughts in the comments. As delicious as that sounds, you're inclined to ask where the coffee comes into the mix, and when you realize the house is suspiciously quiet. Mabel, where is everybody? Oh, Uncle Stan said he needed some stuff for your car, so he went to go get Mecky techie stuff for that. I think Uncle Ford's somewhere. He heard the abominable Bro-Man was trying to steal sodas from campers, so he went to go help them out. Yep, that's where he went. Totally knew it! So they left you guys to make breakfast on your own? You didn't know the family that well enough to know this was a commonplace. So the idea of leaving Mabel, I meant two teenagers, alone to fend for themselves seems fine. If one of the teenagers wasn't Mabel, anyway. I still don't know how the coffee fits. You still don't know how coffee fits into her Mabel cakes. But now you don't really want to find out. Dipper attempts to hide the pancake mix from Mabel while she's grabbing the chocolate milk from the fridge. Apparently, he doesn't want to find out either. Mabel, while your Mabel cakes sound divine, why don't we quick think of something so you don't hurt her feelings? Go out for breakfast? Is there somewhere we can go out to get breakfast? You should really save the Mabel cakes till your great uncles get back. I know they wouldn't want to miss them. But I want to perfect my recipe. I have to get better at cooking and baking and stuff so I can survive out there in the world. What if in high school I have to bake stuff and people are better than me? Mabel looks very agitated, tugging at her hair with both hands. If I can't perfect Mabel cakes, then I can never be on Bad Dreams Dining. I gotta impress Gerald Rambo and Rebecca. It's my destiny. Can you cook? Maybe Dipper can help you make something different. We should save the Mabel cakes for another day. A more special day. But Rebecca... Mabel's still standing on the step ladder, reaches up and squishes your cheeks together. Her wide eyes staring into your soul. Squishy, squishy, squishy. Every day is a special day with Mabel cakes. You glance at Dipper, making a "please help me, I'll buy you breakfast" face. You hope he understands. Yeah, Mabel, I know you want to cook more since you're becoming an adult. Sure, but don't you think Uncle Stan and Great Uncle Ford should be here to try them too, and not just me again? Mabel hops off the stepladder and ponders her brother's question, lips first. Eventually, she nods, beaming at you both. You're right, Dipper. I can't deny them that experience. Wink. You give Dipper a thankful smile over Mabel's head as she puts the ingredients back in the refrigerator. He grins back at you and rubbing the back of his neck. You wonder if he got that from one of his grunkles. That's clever now that you think about it. Great plus uncle to make grunkle. Saves time on syllables. It really does, honestly. We should go to Greasy's. They have some of the best pancakes there. With like 3 kinds of syrup, if you ask Lazy Susan nicely. Yeah, it's not super far. Let's go. The kids are about to head out of the kitchen when you realize something. Wait, aren't you gonna leave a note for your grunkles about where we're going? Oh, right, good call. Dipper scribbles out a note for Stan and Ford and sticks it on the front door of the shack with one of Mabel's stickers. The kids lead the way towards town, explaining various landmarks and the wild, wonderful stories attached to them along the way. And this is where we saw 2 ghosty old people. In a convenience store. Strange, but you nod regardless. Maybe he just meant they were so old they looked like ghosts. Yeah, after you've seen the series, no, you know what they're talking about. Though, after what you've heard about Gravity Falls already, you could believe there were real ghosts. Dipper points out the diner in the distance, a log-shaped building atop of a train cart, and the 3 of you head inside. You soon realize that the kids know just about everyone in this town. Several people, young and old people, wave at them as the 3 of you find a table. And you get the feeling that they're almost famous in Gravity Falls, though you're not entirely sure why. Oh, you'd know why if you'd seen the series, you know. But this is placed after after the series, I think. They're cute though. They're pretty cute though. Mabel blows a paper wrapper of her straw in Dipper's face, and he retaliates by swatting her with the laminated menu. An elderly woman in a pastel pink waitress dress comes up to the table, and you catch the name on her tag. Susan. Susan. If you wondered why I said Susan like that, it's because, like, I'm a fan of, Has-Been Hotel. Couldn't think of the name for a second. And the lady in Cannibal Town, who looks like Neville's grandmother. Just, anyway. Hiya, kids and stranger. What can I get for you? Pancakes and all 3 syrups for me, please. Lazy Susan. Same for me, actually. Lazy Susan turns to you, notebook in hand. I'll get the pancakes because, well, just so I can. Coming right up, sweetie. Lazy Susan winks, with her good eye, of course, and heads to the back of the counter of the diner. The wait for your food feels longer here than most, mainly due to Mabel and Dipper using this time to interrogate you. At first, it seems somewhat intimidating. You literally crashed into their house, and started hanging out with their great uncles. So they have lots of questions. Oh, jeez, questions! No, I'm kidding. I love questions. Once the irrational fear of 2 13-year-olds fades out, you recognize their interview for what it really was. They care about their grunkles. if you do start hanging out with them more, they want to know as much about you as possible. Mabel's questions are somewhat nonsensical. If you were stranded on a desert island with no boat, no cheating, what would you take with you? While Dipper's are more careful and calculated. What were you doing before you came here? Work, school, work, both, neither. Did you know about Gravity Falls before you crashed into the shack? You immediately know which grunkle each twin takes after. Stan and Mabel, goofy partners in crime, versus the quiet brainiacs Ford and Dipper. And it's an intriguing contrast, especially now that you've been thrown into the middle of the bunch. Well, like I said earlier, my husband thinks that Ford and Mabel are similar, while Dipper and Stan are similar because of how they grew up. Like, Mabel calculates everything. Like, in that one comic where her brother's getting bullied, and she dresses up as him, and she tells the bullies to leave him alone, or they'll kick their ass. And and Dipper, he's had to fight for most of what he's done, like in the episode where they find that spaceship, Ford and Dipper. He was really smart right then when he used the magnet gun. But honestly, I think my husband is kind of right, But as the twins race to see which syrup drips into their mouths the fastest, Dipper's blueberry syrup meets Mabel's classic maple by half a millisecond. You swear on it. You know that these kids do a lot more for their great uncles than just be their cute counterparts. And here we go. Enjoy, kiddos. Let me know if you need anything else. Lazy Susan gives out their respective plates, and the kids go quiet, shoveling their food into their mouths like they've never been fed before. Between mouthfuls, you get a few more questions about yourself and theories on aliens versus which of the members of M synchronized was your favorite. But the table is near silent as the three of you eat. That is, until Mabel speaks up through a mouthful of pancake. So, Rebecca, if in a totally made up and not real situation, who your favorite was, you'd pick Grunkle Stan or Grunkle Ford? Like I said in the previous episode, Ford is my favorite, so I'm picking him. This seems too planned compared to her other cutesy questions. Dipper elbows his sister, not so subtly as she elbows him back. Wide eyes staring at him in a sibling-linked look you can't decipher. So... Okay. Say you're in a movie, one of those weird Grunkle Stan watches on TV with the ladies in the poofy dresses riding horses. Awfully specific, but you let her continue taking another bite of your food. You're the main character of this movie, and you got two guys who are both madly in love with you. This one doesn't mess around. We're getting right to the point, huh? But you could only marry one of them. So, could you be the next in line for the throne? What would you do? If Grunkle Stan and Grunkle Ford were your choices, who would you go with? Mabel, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Really weird and kind of gross. Come on, Dipper. This is important information. That's vital to my research. What research? None of your business, but I'm gathering other research. Mabel leans into Dippy's ear to whisper, waggling her brow at you before she replies in a not so whisper, not a whisper, but quite the opposite. Research into how you're a huge nerd! With that, Mabel catapults a spoonful of melted butter from the top of her pancakes into Dipper's cheek with a very satisfying splat. Dipper jerks in disgust and retaliates by smearing strawberry syrup onto Mabel's nose, a drop of stickiness plopping onto her sweater. Ew, gross! You're gross. Ugh. I love these two. Like, I really do. There's no vitriol between the twins, but lots of giggles and a few more various food missiles. Eventually, syrup streaks Mabel's cheekbones and some of her hair, and Dipper has a small piece of pancake stuck to his face. You guys are dorks! Maybe you're right, but we're twins, so it's adorable. It is adorable. If you say so, Mabel. Quick, Rebecca, take the two of us. Take a picture of the two of us while Dipper's got pancake on his face. What? He swipes at it quickly, and after several passes, gets it off. Aww. I was trying to get more candid pictures of us. Mabel, you have syrup everywhere. Really? Then it would have been a perfect photo. Here, let me get it. Your hands are sticky enough. You get back up with napkin in hand, trying to wipe the syrup off Mabel's cheeks. The excess syrup wipes off easily, but a good portion doesn't budge. I mean, maybe syrup as makeup is the next new look. And that's one word for it, kid. Yay! Yeah, I'm back! We wondered where you went once we came back to a suspiciously quiet house. If it weren't for Dipper's note, we would have been worried. Sixer, you would have been worried. I tried telling him. You kids pull this kind of stuff all the time, heading out, on and out, putting stress on your poor old uncle's heart. She puts a hand over his heart dramatically. All those hours of unpaid child labor. I love Stan, but man. Actually, that note wasn't me. Well, I wrote it, but Rebecca's the one who said we should. So you know where we went. Both Ford and Stan look at you surprised. Really? Figure these two knuckleheads dragged you out here. Why not breakfast at home? This place is at least a 15-minute walk from the shack. Well, you glance at Dipper, swiping his finger across Mabel's nose, licking the blueberry syrup off, and Mabel has a pancake in her mouth, chewing on it like a grazing sheep. I wanted to treat them to something, I guess. It's the least I can do. You're letting me stay with you and fixing my car. I thought since you were gone, I'd take these two out for a drink. Also, Mabel was gonna make Mabel cakes again. You're just mad you can't even make toast right. Well, yes I can! I burnt it one time! I wonder if we're gonna meet Wendy. Dipper holds up his syrup-tipped finger in the air, indignant. Well, Mabel wanted you to enjoy her Mabel cakes too. Okay. And since there wasn't much food, I figured I'd take them out. Stan snatches the pancake from Mabel's mouth and takes a bite out of it, cackling, "Ew!" When she stands on the seat trying to grab it back, climbing over Dipper to reach. Aside from her kerfuffle, you catch Ford's eye. Was he staring at you? As soon as he realizes, he quickly sets his gaze to somewhere else, looking over your head and out the window. You'd say he probably shifted his attention, but his fingers hooks under the under the high neck of his sweater and tugs at it. Oh, he's nervous! He's nervous! Oh, I'm so sorry! He's blushing! Well, Rebecca, I really appreciate you looking after Dipper and Mabel for me. It was very kind of you to bring them here. Oh, it wasn't a big deal, really. I'm happy to help. You smile at him, pretending you don't feel warm. You don't feel how warm your face is. Maybe it's just hot and greasy. Ford looks close to the shade of his sweater. Dipper mumbles an "ow" when you catch Mabel elbowing him in his side, waggling her eyebrows at him. You're not sure why. Well, kid, if you're busy, scoot over, Dipper. I want breakfast too. Frickin' Stan. Stanley, it's at least 12:30 now. Grogo Ford, that means it's time for brunch. Duh. See? This kid gets me. Now, let me in so I can grab some grub. Dipper moves to your side of the booth, and Stan sits next to Mabel and Ford. And Ford sits at Dipper's side. Lazy Susie comes back and takes orders for another round of food and drinks for everyone, including Mabel, who decided she wants more pancakes. You're starting to regret offering to pay, but as Stan and Mabel try their hand at the syrup drip face with Dipper cheering them on, Ford watches with a wide grin on his face, so you know you don't really mind that much. Aww, that was so adorable! After the expedition to find Mothman, you accompany Ford on a few more missions, so to speak, examining various birds of the forest, including the questionable stomach-faced duck, who snatches your sandwich and quickly ran off, Ford in hot pursuit. While he didn't find what evidence he needed, something to do with their digestive systems, you both decided that the stomach-faced duck flock were questionable, and not as questionable as the question quail, which he shows you from a scanned journal page, but still questionable. You asked why. He decided the octopus was too stupid to study, but received a loud groan and "too sticky" as an answer. Valid point. All in all, your adventures with Ford have been more enjoyable than you would expect. And you can't help but notice, but hope that you get to experience another one with him soon. You walk through the living room, asking questions about the question quail and Ford's journal pages, and narrowly avoid slipping on a sheet of graph paper. Oh no! Ah, don't look! Oh, it's you. Ah! Yeah! Oh, I was just wondering if we were gonna get D and more D. Dipper peers out over a book that proclaims D and more D, officially licensed campaign journal. He is sitting on the yellow armchair with crisscross legs and barricaded in with books and papers. He's got a lap of multicolored dice and half a dozen chewed pencils thrown across the floor, and one in his mouth. I actually do that when I'm nervous or thinking. You look down and notice the floor is covered almost entirely in graph paper. Hi, did you need something? I know it's kind of messy, I should probably clean that up. Dipper looks reluctant to extract himself from his self-constructed fantasy lore prison. Here, I can do it. You look busy. You're about halfway through cleaning the floor before you start looking at what is on the various sheets you're holding. A fantasy map, some floor plans, and countless scribbles of notes and calculations in the margins. What are these for? Planning something? Dipper's re-immersed in his planning, and he startles a little when you speak. Oh, right! No big deal. It's just this great pen and paper role-playing game called Dungeons, Dungeons, and More Dungeons. DD and MD, for short. It's all about fantasy worlds and statistics and swords, and well, it's kind of difficult to explain, but it's super fun! Yeah, I'm playing with Great Uncle Ford today, so I'm putting down my final touches on the dungeons. He's gonna be so stumped! Stumped, you say? Ford comes into the room at the precise moment, drying his hands on his trench coat. Perfect timing, Dipper. Perfect timing, Dipper. I just managed to get the paint off my hands. Paint from what? Oh, one of the gnomes came by and decided to graffiti the side of the house, something about his rapper persona. Yeesh. Yeah, I don't think Jay Gnomesy is going anywhere in the music business. In any event, I see you've been hard at work. Are you ready for our game? Yes! Oh, and Rebecca, I can take those now. Thanks for the help. Ford looks like he just noticed you standing there for the first time since he entered the room. Rebecca, I'm glad you weren't too shaken up by our adventure yesterday. You grin and hand Dipper a tall stack of papers, catching a glimpse of the stats for a knock-knock skull. Yeah, well, I made it back in one piece, right? That's the spirit. Though 90% of a piece would have been good too. You never realize how little a difference 10% makes you until you lose it. So, how's the Mothman? Shaken up. All in the name of research, though. I've seen a few moths and come back next week, as good as new. A process akin to cycling dead cells. I would say we just expedited that process. No moral issues there. Well, Rebecca, the game calls and I must answer. Stanley's about if you're looking for him, though. Well, if you wanted to join our game, I certainly wouldn't object. I can promise a fun afternoon. Another player? Yeah, totally. I can give you a pre-made character sheet to start and shoot, where'd I put my other set? Don't worry, Dipper. I've got an extra set. Me? I don't even know how to play. Oh man, there are so many rules. But where to start? I mean, it's really easy to pick up. It's even kind of popular now. You're not sure about committing a whole afternoon to this game with Ford. Though Dipper does seem pretty excited about it. But stands around too, and you wanted to go check on your car. Well, think about it, Rebecca. Dipper, my boy, why don't you and I get set up in the meantime? Ford and Dipper launch into fantasy lore talk. They prop up a corkboard against the yellow armchair, pin up various maps and floor plans with important landmarks, and upend their pouches of dice onto the carpet. You know what? I'm gonna enjoy the game. I'm on the Ford path, so why not? I mean, it'll get me closer. And don't worry, guys, this is just water. Reading out loud for like an hour? Ugh, good lord, it is murder on my throat. But once I'm better, I can try doing like voices for everybody. Great. Oh shoot, did you look at the plans earlier? Those were for the Master's eyes only. If only I'd known you were gonna join us. Oh, don't worry, I didn't look. What a relief. No, wait. What if you're lying to get an edge in the game? Is this the old Chronicle board? What? I didn't hear. I was just categorizing these D&D and more empty books. How many volumes do they have these days? Dipper and Ford put the final pieces in their place. The floor is encircled in a mix of propped up corkboard, books, maps, and loose leaf paper. Oh, jeez. Now's it gone. Ford unfolds the game board in the center of the madness. Brilliant. We're all ready. Don't look so nervous, Rebecca. You'll have me here to walk you through it. Oh. Ford sits down next to the game board. He pats the carpet next to him, inviting you to sit, and you do. Dipper sits across from you on the other side of the game board and unfolds an illustrated piece of cardboard, propping it up in front of him. He notices your questioning gaze on it and looks back at you. Oh, yeah, this is the Dungeon Master screens. It's just here to protect my secrets. It hides essential dice rolls and plot points from prying player eyes. Grunkle Ford tried to look ahead once or twice and spoil the narrative twist. And you were the only player! I'm just making sure my dungeon mastering apprentice stays on his toes. You can never be too vigilant. I love the board! I love him! Dipper gathers his dice in a pile next to the DM screen and ready to roll when needed. Now I mentioned I meant an extra set of dice, didn't I? Dice are an important, though by no means essential, component of gameplay. No adventurer should leave their house without a set. I keep mine in the souvenir I got in this velvet dice bag from a local game store, yes. Ford retrieves a dark drawstring bag from his coat and empties it onto the floor, where dice of all shapes and sizes come tumbling out. And now for yours. He pulls another matching drawstring bag from the depths of his coat. They were having a buy one get one off discount. Go ahead, take a look. These will be yours for the session. Oh, nice. Gold. You pour gold dice onto the carpet as well. Metallic gold with the numbers embossed in black. Pretty. Fancy. While I didn't have enough to make them from solid gold, I was able to electroplate a set for fun. Critical Ford, you electroplated those dice? They're so nice. That didn't mean to rhyme. Maybe you could be the one with the rapping career. Bob J. Gnomesy. Dipper and Ford laugh. Yeah, maybe not. Let me reintroduce our characters. Dipper clears his throat, settling into his dungeon master persona. When we last left our heroes, Maeve the Meddling trapped the great elven wizard Vernan and his halfling fighter Tyros in a dungeon filled to the brim with puzzles, riddles, and brain teasers. To reach Miv and end this journey once and for all, they'll have to brave the Dungeon Master's mystery and escape their lives intact! Oh my god. I love this little nerd. I love him. I love him. Dipper sets two figurines side by side on the game board. One is an imposing creature flowing in robes, and the other is much shorter by comparison, posed with a will to prove himself. You suppose the former is Vernon, and the latter is Tyros. But what would our two heroes find in the first room of the dungeon? A potential ally, just as trapped as they were, who were willing to join their quest for freedom? Dipper places three figurines on the carpet just off the side of the game board. You get to choose your character now, Rebecca. They're starters with pre-made templates, so they're good for short notice editions like this. Ooh, okay. This is fun! Okay, hang on. Okay, I had 16 minutes. Okay, I'm short, so I'm gonna go Dwarf Fighter. Fighters are hardy, brash, and know how to pack a punch. Another fighter, huh? We might need that. Wizards can be kinda squishy. My wizard has extra points of constitution. You glance at Ford's character sheet and see that Ford's wizard might be a little buffer than normal. He's a little low on wisdom. Yes. Dipper moves your figurine onto the board beside Vernon and Kiros. Alright, and what's their name going to be? Alex. Short for Alexandrios. You hear Ford trying Alexandrios out under his breath a few times. Ooh, this is gonna be fun! Okay, here we go! This might be a little bit longer until we finish the campaign. So sweet! Sorry guys, I'm a nerd. I'll just call them Alex. Here's your character sheet. That's got all your info on it. Our heroes encounter Alexandrios, Alex for short, in the first room of the dungeon. Alex, what's your deal with our main villain, Miv the Meddling? Okay. Ford, help me! I just woke up here with a headache, murdered my family, and now I seek revenge! Okay. Alex explains how she struck Miv's ear, and in turn, Kiro shares that Miv once bested him in a duel, an embarrassment, because Miv is a sorcerer, and sorcerers aren't known for their physical combat skills. And Kiro's defense, he was still young at the time. But none of that matters, because to finally face Miv down, they must escape. Oh my god! This is so cool! Look, there's Ford's hand on the right. Dipper's pine tree on the right too, along with his fort. Ooh, look! There's Mabel's shooting star, and there's Uncle Ford's hat thing. That is so cool. That is so cool. Okay. Behind you is a plain door. On the far wall of the room is a set of doors, and to the left and right are old stained glass windows with weirdly familiar motifs on them. Having woken up here with no recollection of getting here at all, you have no way of knowing which door you came in should go out of, or even what direction you should head in at all. Now you guys decide what you want to do, and you might want to look around first. And by that, of course, we mean rolling a die to see if you notice anything. The outcome nearly is substantial, and every choice we make is tied to the roll of the dice. I'll let you choose what to do here, Rebecca. Then I'll take a look around. That's the smartest thing to do. Ford shows you what to do for an investigation check, and Dipper flips through his notebook and ready to tell you what you see. Ah! Nice dice roll. Tacked to one of the walls of this room is a note that reads, "Proceed with caution, homies." Homies, really? Kiros pockets the note, and in the distance you hear a faint sound of rushing water. What do you do next? What's the state of the door behind us. See for yourself. I'm still the DM. I can't respond unless you touch the door. Ford casts detection magic, and after confirming with Dipper that there is no magic behind the door, pushes it open, and the three of you leave through that door. Nice. That was awesome! As the last of you step through the doorway, it melts, seeping in the wall as if it never were there. Guess we're not going back that way. The chandelier overhead ignites, casting the room in a warm orange glow, revealing an impressive door on the far wall. In front of it is a large cloth-covered lump. Okay, so ow, my legs. Okay. 10 minutes. Sorry guys, my phone came unplugged, so I had to plug it back in. But okay, so I really hate to leave it here. I really hate to leave it here, but I really do hate to leave it here, but I'm gonna stop this for now, and then when we come back, we are going to that was weird. When we come back, or when I do another episode, we are going to continue this. It's gonna be so much fun. So I want you guys to please subscribe if you like the video. Anything I talked about, leave comments, questions, likes. Honestly, I love this game so far. And I hope you guys like it too. So, I hope, with all my heart, that you guys like it, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!